What would be your advice to the senators who are talking both to Kavanaugh and his accuser today?
I think they need to put partisanship aside. They need to wholeheartedly listen to Dr. Ford, respect her for coming out to speak about this. This is not easy. She's been defamed, maligned, threatened, had to move homes, protect her children. She has security. Like, no one just does that for the sake of doing that. So I need them to factor that all in, that this woman has taken a lot for her to come out here and share her story. And I hope that not just the stories of Dr. Ford and Ramirez and others, but he was unqualified before that. I was here since September 4th, since the first day of the hearings, before I even knew of these allegations, and I hope that they are taking everything into account, including that the Senate Judiciary still has not seen close to 90% of the documents that are still classified or have not been in the possession of the Senate, Democrats in particular, but really all the senators, and why. Like, their question should be, why not show the American people? Why not let the Senate Democrats see those documents? And so factor in all of that. His cases in the past, his positions in the past, and his own partisanship and his own relationship to the administration.
On Monday, your group talked to staffers from Senator Collins, Flake, and Sass's office.
Yes.
In particular, what kind of do you want them to know about it, and do you think those conversations are successful?
I hope that they never give us an indication of success, but I think that women in particular were being very courageous. Women were sharing trauma. Like, trauma was on display, and I was really disturbed by this idea that women felt the need to put their trauma on display just so that these senators could understand how serious this conversation is. So it was powerful. I literally cried all day on Monday. My heart was broken to see how many survivors are coming out here, leaving their jobs, leaving their children at home, really sacrificing to come to Washington. It's not easy to get to Washington, D.C. if you live in Maine or you live in Alaska or you live in Nebraska, but they're here. They're here because they believe in this, and they believe that Brett Kavanaugh does not deserve to be on the Supreme Court, and that's why we're all here.
And lastly, it's been kind of almost 2 years since the Women's March kind of began as a movement. Can you talk about both the evolution of message and the evolution of tactic kind of in the Trump era?
I think the Women's March, and I always actually ask myself this question, I say to myself, what if there wasn't a Women's March in 2017? Would we have had this continued resistance amongst many groups? And the evolution of the Women's March is, marching is great, and marching is important, it raises awareness, but we had to escalate, and escalation includes direct action, includes training women from across the country to engage in nonviolent civil disobedience. It includes, generating thousands of calls to senators' offices. It includes in-district visits and getting people politically active in a way that they've never been before. And I think the Women's March has been extremely successful in doing that. We have built a lot of human and political capital, and we're here. And Women's March and the Center for Popular Democracy Action have been the leaders on these actions since the first day of the hearing. We've been here since day one, and we're going to stay here as long as we can to stop this nomination.
Do you think that civil disobedience, kind of putting your body on the line, like, makes a difference in the sort of activism where it's resolved?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, this could have been any old confirmation. The newspapers would have been like, yep, just another day in work. And what we did was we shifted the narrative entirely. The first day of the hearings, it was the front page of every paper of record, and it was dissent. It was organized chaos. It was women dissenting, and that's what we wanted. We wanted the American people to know that on the record, 40 years from now, look back, women stood up to Kavanaugh, women stood up to this administration, and it's an important story for us. And the women are leading this resistance right now. That's just the bottom line. Wherever you go in this resistance, women are at the front lines, and we're going to stay at the front lines.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you.